behind. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody.
I talked a while back about grassroots racing and where we come from, but, you know, you can't really go any more grassroots back to where we truly began than at a track that really boasts and still holds a special place in my heart as one of our favorite tracks to visit, and that has given us some of the best races we've ever witnessed. It was the track that gave us our first magnum opus of racing, and it's a track returning back to the show once more. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Racetrack Revival, because we are now live with what is old is new as the modern day Xfinity Series for Six Sigma Sim Racing come to the land and gates of North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Welcome to North Wilkesboro Speedway here on VTN Race TV. Hello, good everyone. I am the Crusader Christian Shark doing you live here as I just got out of the truck and got out of the cars down there, and we're actually going to do some calls to the action here. It is my pleasure and honor to bring you guys here to the Six Sigma Sim Racing Oval League Series as we are about to get on through and see what these drivers have in store and what lays in wait as they're going to test their limits, test their patience, and test themselves, and maybe what could be best a hard racing short track antics stay with 120 laps up for grabs and 120 laps to the stakes. We've had only one winner so far this year, and that has gone back-to-back so far. His name is Ailton Norgard as he looks to try to continue that winning ways. He's the guy everyone's going to be keeping their eye on. He qualified third out of the bunch. The rest of the field right now currently finishing up the last bit of their qualifying session here as we got 20 seconds left on the clock here. You guys can share this one on around, show some love also to the Six Sigma Sim Racing crew as they have been an extremely big help to us in coming onto the stage and onto the show here to get this race and everything dialed in, as well as helping us out in and behind out of the scene. So show them some love too at Six Sigma Sim Racing at www.sixsigmasimracing.com. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Without further ado, though, race fans, let's head it down to the track. It's time to find out who's going to take top spots. For the Track Tech Talk here, we're going to take a look at this real quick here. Over a half-mile in length with Wilkesboro Speedway. Very, very unique in its nature. Top side off 3 and 4, rides up a little bit, and down slopes a little bit off of 4 down to a very tight little turn 1. Watch for the drivers to overshoot the corner and try to brake as hard as they can down there, while others could be trying to run the gauntlet, if you will, forcing them in their hands in quite a few different situations. Let us begin the show. 20 drivers make the call today. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. And on the pole, it'll be the 48th, the Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn. The outside of him, number 21, is Corey Abbott. Row number 2 is going to be the man who's back-to-back right now going for the hat trick. It's the 12 of Ailton Norgard. This outside, though, is going to be the 77 out of Canada, Kerry Brooks. Row number 3 is going to be the number 20 of Andrew Hardcastle. And the outside of him, and that number 6, it's Parker Patrick Kelly. Row number 4 is from across the pond in the UK, baby. William Wyman, the number 43, the outside of him, and then 22, it is Jeff Oakes. Row number 5, in the number 16, it will be Joe Tardif. On the outside, you just saw her win on YouTube Live, the Throttle, Chantel Bottle. Row number 6 is the 84 of Joe Gregory. With the outside of him, and the number 14 is Austin Louder. Row number 7 is Matthew Moniak, and the 24, the outside of him, in the 20, and the 71 is Wayne Ruprack. Then row number 8 is going to be the number 76 of Mike right out of the outside. And number 2 is going to be Chad Lancaster. Row number 9 is going to be the 3 of Arthur Clements, the outside of them. And the 61, it's Chris Schulisser. Row number 10 will finally start off with the 11 of Stephen Lauder, the outside. In the number 57, it's Mann Sr., William Mann. Joe Tardev was saying, "What's up, PTM? Great to have you on board." Not much, my friends. Mighty Moniac saying spun in the second lap, so costing himself some time there. We're going to wheel our drivers down off the corner ends here into the playing fields here. We are getting set to go for this one. Wheeling them down off the corners of number 3 and 4. Race fans, time has come. Let the racetrack revival continue on. We bring the drivers to the green flag. 120 laps of the distance. This is going to be a flat-out shootout. If they can keep it clear of trouble and keep it green all the way through, you'll see a lot of drivers really push some limits and push themselves to stay on lead lap and try to stay out of trouble. A lot of guys and gals are going to really have to focus in on, though, one thing and one thing only. How close and how compact can you deal with the track before the track deals with you? There is not a lot of breathing room. There's not a lot of areas to get away from. It's grassroots, old school, fight it out, short track racing. Yeah, in my opinion too, this is probably one of the best short tracks you have to deal with in this case, because not only does it kind of give you a different sense and different ideals of how the track is reconfigured, but it also forces the clever ones to get smarter with their fuel and tire strategies, and also having to stay in the throttle to keep power up, keep the control on the gate. There, as you see, trouble already at brewing. The number 20 of Andrew Hardcastle goes for a little spin down through turn number 1 and 2. That's exactly what we talk about here on the show, folks. When and where were the driver going to make the mistake? So unfortunately, Hardcastle going to get himself trapped in the position early on. He's going to have to find himself a little bit laid out on the field for a minute here. We'll take a listen into some of our drivers and see how they plan to tackle this one today. We begin here with the guy that we've known all too well here on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, representing one of the number 22 camp today, it is Jeffrey Oaks.
Hey, buddy, how you doing up there?
We're doing all right down here on the honor road. What about you down on the track there, sir?
Heart's beating kind of fast there. That was a close call. That was close.
Yeah, things get a little bit wild down there. Why is it so difficult, though, to try to kind of stay away from trouble, much less trying to avoid kind of the contacts like that, sir?
I think this is just short track racing here. Cold tires and just short track racing.
Short track racing, indeed. Oaks, I guess I'll ask you this, too. If things go a long run and have to really file in for a strategy, where is your strategy going to lay away from?
I just want to get going here and get in a rhythm. This is a pretty decent rhythm track, so I just want to kind of get running here and get some laps in, and then we'll go from strategy from there on out.
For sure there. Oaks, thanks for your time down there.
I appreciate it. Have a good one up there, buddy.
You too. Jeffrey Oaks, ladies and gentlemen. Time to take a listen now to another driver here. We're going to visit up William White here on the call here. William, I know you had to travel a little bit of ways to get here down to North Carolina, North Wilkesboro's end, but how are you handling it on the short track end today, sir?
Going alright so far for the first 7 laps. I was stuck a bit behind Andrew there. He did look like he was struggling keeping it together there, and he eventually had a spin. But overall, I've been trying to keep my nose clean for this first part of the race, not trying to have to use my faster power early.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you too. I mean, with the way these cars handle and the way they deal with on the bumps, do you think some of these drivers may get a little complacent and try to go a little bit more aggressive later on?
Oh, definitely. These cars are very hard to handle. They're such low downforce and a 0.6 miler. We know there's going to be incidents. It's just a matter of trying to stay out of them.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Wayne, we really appreciate your time down there. Thanks for your conversation on this one here today.
No worries, man.
William White, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to hear from different personalities as well and different viewpoints because, again, usually when you hear European racing or European drivers, generally speaking, they're more based around the road course side of things, more kind of more left and right turns. They're not used to really the ovals, ends, and the tracks like that we are here in the States because, generally speaking, we just have a lot more ovals here in the States than we do road courses. But that's not to say these guys can't adapt well and figure it out. William White can get things dialed in, and he has had to adapt quickly with some of these ovals. Let's see if he can get it done here and see what happens with him and the team as Con and Abbott. We'll go back at it once more here, bringing it back to the green flag restart zone. We're back at it here in North Wilkesboro. Also, I will say real quick, I do not have a lot of camera angles of North Wilkesboro. iRacing still has yet to kind of update some things on that. And speaking of some updating on that there, Chantel with slight damage on that left rear corner panel. And the Lightning Wraps 5 Six Sigma Sim Racing Machine giving it to the 43 of William White here. She did tell me earlier she would not hesitate to get more aggressive with drivers if she absolutely had to. She says like some of her other drivers that she's known and confidants, she says they get abused around too much. She's not having it no more. Can't say that I blame her. Trouble down ahead though, unfortunately. I was talking of all good things. Oh! And Schussler and Pottle completely rashed out there off of corner number 4, and unfortunately for Pottle, the car takes a bit of a hit and a smack there. Let's take a look at the replay. She was doing really well up for that top 10, but I think cold tires might have bit her here. Taking a look at it, came around that corner. Yeah, you can see right there, she came off too tight. The car is still too little hard on the tires. Schussler trying to avoid. And Chantel looks like actually was trying to get rewired here, and unfortunately didn't quite go as according to plan. Spins it right out, loses control. And Schussler looked like he was trying to just get out of the way and thinking the bottom was the way to go, but a big mistake unfortunately on his end as well as her end, and that's going to cost both of them out. So both drivers sadly going to be kind of trapped in the doghouse, if you will. It's going to be a wild night for them, unfortunately. Schussler has not had very many breaks on this show as of late. I've noticed that too. That's something I think I'm just kind of noticing as it goes along. Let's take a listen now, race fans here. Let's take it down here to Kerry Brooks here. He joins me in the number 77 Six Sigma Sim Racing Ford Mustang here. Kerry, yeah, right now you're in the top 5, and you've been pretty much kind of in that spot all season round, but you got a guy that's in front of you that's gone back-to-back. How do you try to stop him from pulling off the hat trick?
You know what? Today I might not be the guy that's going to do it, to be honest, Chris. This is a tough place. I didn't have a ton of practice. I know Leighton's going to be fast. He puts in the time. So if anything, I might just tuck in behind him and try and follow him along the way.
Follow along the way. Now I'll also ask this, with the way it's a short track is, I'm presuming dirty air is a little bit less tough to worry about, but how well do the tires kind of handle when coming to perform at such a high stake here on this track?
You know, I found about mid-run they start to get pretty sketchy. I see some guys are really sticking to the inside. And I know we're in the start, but during practice, some people are trying, I think, manage those tires to the inside. I haven't had much success with that. I'm starting to find around lap 30, lap 40, it becomes a little sketchy, and I can't hold it down.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, we do appreciate your time down there, Kerry. Best of luck as we get you ready to reel them back in here.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Have fun.
Gary Brooks, ladies and gentlemen. Time to take a listen to one of his other guys there on the spot here. Ladies and gentlemen, now joining me here on the line here, Wayne Ruprack now joins us here. Rup, right now, currently, as you get the 71 ready to get back at it, what's going to be the goal for this Hooters 71?
Oh, try to keep her straight and off the ball and off a few cars.
Off a few cars, off the straights here, and how hard are the turns really kind of giving you guys? It seems like you're having to really dictate and turn them off a bit more than usual.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah, I didn't quite read you here, man, but get ready to go green, so I'll talk to you here in a bit.
Yep, head on back in, buddy. Well, we got him out of there. Let's get back to the race, and here we go. Green flag back on out. We're on the way again. That's the problem with short track racing, guys, is I have a hard time trying to get in touch with everybody as soon as I possibly can. That's one thing I hate, and at the same time, I love about this kind of racing, because it's quick, fast, easy, and fun to watch. And then until that happens. Hardcastle again loses control, and there's problems down there between him and the 54. Problems between Arthur Clements and Hardcastle. Stephen Lauder, actually, excuse me. And yeah, Arthur Clements is involved in that one too, so it looks like it is time to go visit up the old PTM Instant Replay. We gotta go find out what happened here. This is not looking good though. Clements just went right. Oh my goodness. Clements, you saw literally just dip it down right inside of that that grassy plains there. The car just shifted straight right. Again, you just no control once you slam into that corner there, and there was nothing he could do about where he was going from there either. Very violent wreck there, and unfortunately Hardcastle now twice being a part of a caution here. Although this one really wasn't his fault. Oh my goodness, even Chantel Pottle, man, she just can't get out of this mess. Schuessler managing to stay out of trouble this time around. But the damage has definitely been done, and we're losing drivers left and right here, guys. But we're going to try to take it back down here and talk with some of the drivers if we can, see how they're holding up here. One of them we do know, we haven't heard from in a long time here. He pilots it down today in the number 24. Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Moniak is back on the line.
Yes, sir. How are you today?
Doing all right, my friend. Been a while since we've heard from you, but it is great to see you back out on the track. What you been up to since we've last heard from you?
Oh, just been running my own league, and well, adminning, I should say, and you know, pretty high up in a league, and just bouncing between work and relocating across a couple of states.
Relocating across a couple states, because a couple of states you've had to certainly travel a couple states just to get to this place here. Tell me, when you came in today, I mean, were you expecting it to be kind of more of a fight it out and let it ride out kind of deal here in North Wilkesboro?
Yeah, it's going to be more about just saving your car, staying damage free for the first half of the race, and at that point we're going to have some cars drop out from accidents, and at that point that I'm going to try to charge up ahead and try to squeak out a top 5 here, but we have some pretty good drivers at the front that qualified pretty strong.
Certainly do indeed. Whenever that's Moniak, we're getting back to the green, so best of luck to you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
This time, at least, we were able to prioritize that. Let's get back to the action here, race fans. Drivers now going to have to figure out where to go right, where not to go wrong. So we're about to file them back down onto the track. Entering off of turn number 3 into turn number 4 here. This time on by. Green flag charges back up here. We're not halfway done yet. We're only 1/6 of the way there. And Con right now with that lead here, kind of stabilizing to stay out of trouble, and everyone else just kind of trying to force in their mark, kind of manage their way down around the track. Joe Tardev in the number 16 machine, he's already looking in on that carefully here too, as he's making a good runoff here on the 71 of Wayne Ruprack. Ruprack though, staying in control of his own destiny here, trying to force the 16 to have to run in a little harder. He does indeed, but in turn makes Moniak get a good shack here. Checks it up inside the turn, bat down to the inside, off of the bottom lane. shoots it straight to the top as you see them and going a little bit inverted into the corner. Such a unique track, and is more or less is actually created as a dirt track, I mind you. This was not originally asphalt, of course. This was a dirt track that, you know what, I can say it now too, that I hosted the season championship for the very first NASCAR Cup Series schedule. And you know when that was created? On this very day that I'm broadcasting, 12/14/2022, it is 75 years old. How about that? NASCAR is 75 years old. This track, a little bit older than that, but it has set the tone and the bar for what was many, many years to come. And speaking of many years to come, trouble ahead, big wreck ensuing, drivers scattered. Joe Tardif, Matthew Moniak involved in Wayne Ruprecht, as well as Chad Lancaster, all involved in the wrecks. They were coming off of turn number 4. And it's just, again, we're just going to see this all day long. It's, again, that frustrating factor of having to figure out a modern-day car around a track like this. It's just so difficult and treacherous to get it all dialed in. You can see right there, Ruprecht's kind of got trapped in there. And you can see even then, too, Chad Lancaster, he didn't want nothing to do with it. But he found himself kind of on the receiving end, if you will, and in turn got himself kind of trapped between a rock and a hard place, and that's not something you necessarily want. See, he was trying to avoid it, get back in the gas, and then ends up smack dab in the wall. You know, it's crazy too, right now as I'm also recording this, North Wilkesboro Speedway is actually putting in safer barriers for the NASCAR day to come here next year at the All-Star race. They will be returning with NASCAR Cup Series racing, but hard to believe after so long it's been tormented. That's why we kind of called it the Racetrack Revival in this week here. But that did kind of make me think about this for a second too. If we're putting in safer barriers, quick question: how is Ross Chastain not going to think about trying to use these barriers around this place? Because if you think about it, it's a pretty good venue to try it at. Like, you could try it on 1 and 2. You could probably actually get it to work really well. 3 and 4, I think, would be the only part you have a little trouble with, because it's more rounded out, so it does give you kind of a chance. I kept kind of thinking about that too. I'm thinking the way that looks as well, it looks like it's actually kind of sloping inward. So that might make it even easier to try if they really wanted to. All jokes and speculation aside, though, right now currently this field trying to think about anything other than ended up in that wall. That wall is unfriendly. It is made of solid concrete, and oh yeah, by the way, it doesn't give an inch. It doesn't care who your friends are, who your family is, or who anything is. It will hit you, and it will knock your lights out as much as it will take out your car in this race. Drivers got to avoid that, and they've got to stay focused on what they're up to and where they're playing into this field. For the Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn, the Lowe's 48 has been absolutely maintaining the grip and the distance he needs to stay in line and stay in tune with the race lead. But he knows Corey Abbott and Ailton Norgard are looking very, very carefully at taking him over. And again, Norgard, right now, from his 2 race wins at Daytona and Darlington, he's got 2 wins in a row. He's trying to go back. He's trying to pull the hat trick off and go 3. Kahn, Abbott looking to not let that happen and looking to stop it dead on its tracks and dead in the water. But off of turn number 4, that's anything but the green flag. We wave. We're back at it at North Wilkesboro. Oh, Jeff Oaks hard into the wall protection down off turn number 2. Tight off the exit. Couldn't quite get it to grip down there. Here comes Ailton Norgard dealing with the number 77 of Terry Brooks. And Brooks not exactly giving him a hand in terms of leverage or any openings there. He's looking to try to school him out and kind of overtake him. Couldn't quite get it done there. Leading back in. Corey Abbott right now staying behind the Rattlesnake, looking for an opening, trying to sneak his way back into position as he works the field down onto the front stretch. There are two routes here in North Wilkesboro. The first route is high to the bottom. You get more speed there, but you also burn tires up quickly. The other, stay low, low as it goes. Don't let the car get too amped up. Don't let it get too afraid to hit the throttle. Stay low, keep the momentum consistent, but watch your corner exits. Most power you'll get is going high side straight to the bottom, but you'll see a lot of drivers, in my opinion, staying more towards the low, wherein as they'll try to get the car to take a set and relax up so that way they can keep their momentum alive, keep their hopes in check, and ready to race it out. Mike right out of the Six Sigma Sim Racing MRM number 76. Machine trying to get right into control. The butt kicker 76 trying to kick some butt and work his way through the front. I talked with him earlier today. He said, first off, don't ever bring me back into the voice chat until a top 3 time. Secondly, he said point blank, I've been just trying to get more experience and more leverage wherever I go and whatever race I come into. I feel like, and more than anything though, I need to just kind of be patient, really start focusing on what makes me me, makes me as a driver, rather than what everyone else has been trying to do or trying to deal with me on. William White right now dealing with the driver in 6, who is currently in the 6, Parker Patrick Kelly, as he is currently maneuvering through in whatever the heck he's wearing for a suit, and then the Miller Lite Toyota Supra. I'm pretty sure that had something to do with kind of a Japanese Japan Tokyo level look there, the way that ski looked on the suit. Ailens and Norgard, Corey Abbott right now going at it here a little bit as we go on board here with Norgard. I want to take a close look at his steering and how he is hitting these corners. Look at the steering wheel as it shapes itself straight in, almost at a straight up 9 o'clock position. It's right at the 9 o'clock. It's not quite 9 o'clock, about 10 and in between 10 and 9, I would say. But as we get later on in the run, you'll see that go from about an into a 9 to nearly an 8 and a 9 position. Just trying to get the car to steer off, but that right front starts to give way and give out. That's when it becomes a very treacherous little deal. It's very difficult to master and break down. You really have to be patient and really understand the craft of what you're dealing with. Maybe right here, this is a good sign, like too. You can see William, you see how he is absolutely having to steer that thing in, while at the same time having to watch out for the 77. And then at the same time, when he gets an opening, take control of it. The 43 straight to the inside. And Brooks with nowhere to go. There's nowhere to run, my friend. Into the inside. Hold on down there, Parker. Parker Patrick Kelly nearly losing there down off of turn number 4. Right rear end sliding out for him. Slips it up as the track surface continues to force these drivers in and out of position and speeds. There is no room for error here. Lancaster trying to blast on 84. Joey Gregory right now. Joe trying to hold on as the 2 clutches a little bit of the wall protection. You see the puff of smoke coming off there. That's actually a bit of grime dust and burrowing out. Even more coming off. One really unique thing iRacing has done is they've switched out with sparks and smoke on that end, making it a lot more realistic, to say the least. Schuessler trying to stay out of the way of being a lead lap driver. He's a couple laps down at the moment due to the mechanical problems and problems he faced earlier when he got into the 5 Centel battle, and then his own issues right now. Field grapping in more. Look it up, the number 20 right now. Andrew Hardcastle, many laps down, even more than Chris Schuessler. And I guarantee you that's not sitting well with him and his team. Chad Lancaster, though, throwing all sorts of maneuvers and all sorts of runs around on the inside, just trying to make as much passes as possible here. Still, though, at the end of the day, they're all hunting down that same guy down there, the Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn, in the Lowe's 48. Ailton Norgard, though, is starting to get Corey Abbott on his toes a little bit. It looks like he's starting to put the pressure on. Oh, wait, just up ahead, though. Problems between the 5 and the 57. Pottle and William Man wrecking it out. Pottle going to stay there until she's got a clear go. She does. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't clear dealing with William Man down there as Man Sr. and the 5 Chantel Pottle make contact here off of turn number 4. Major damage on the 5 here, and this is not what we expected out of her, but here's what happened. William Man Sr. overdrove the corner, and you can see he just dipped it right down into the 5's path, and she had absolutely no idea what was coming, no idea where to go. I mean, what were you supposed to do at that point? There's nowhere to escape, and there's nowhere to run when you're running on a short track. One more look at it. Take a look here. Watch William Man. He's trying to corner it down. Rear end slips out just enough. Catches the 5. Doesn't realize where she was at, and now it's too little too late. And you can see the field just trying to avoid the 5 as well. Massive contact yet again. Talk about chaos and pandemonium all around us here, folks. Drivers just trying to get themselves settled in, get their feet underneath them, and get some legs as well under them as well. But it just does not look like they can get a solid ground or a solid piece to the puzzle put into place before things just get completely out of hand here. And again, we see it constantly more as we go, but it's just going to happen. Because it's really just something as a driver, you know you can't escape it, you know you can't get away from it. You just gotta kind of work around it and deal with it from there. We are nearly halfway done with this race. Back to the green. Hard charge out of the gate. These restarts are going to get extremely difficult for many out here. Also, one thing I'm not quite understanding here, Stephen Lauder right now is supposedly on the lead lap, and he's also leading it. I'm not sure if that's some kind of glitch or what's going on there, but Con right now is supposed to be your leader. Lauder is, yeah, I don't know what's going on down there. I don't even think they know. I think they're going to call for caution to get that structured out. Lauder is not on the right position, and I think he might have shifted the timing shot out there. We're halfway done, though. Halfway done with this race, and so far it's been something. Now this caution is due to a timing / scoring error. So what that means is get everybody in the proper position, the proper working order, they're going to go ahead and slide everyone back where they're supposed to, take control, and see what happens from there. So right now, Louder, I believe, being told, you're not supposed to be up front there, my friend. We're gonna get you to the back so we can get this straightened out. Chantal Bottle on pit road right now. I think the 5 currently getting some damage cleared up. She does have the motor still running, so it looks like she's going to try to get it back out as quick as she can here, waiting for the pace car coming around. There we go. She's got it refired. One thing you can always trust on these drivers to do, though, is they will not quit. If they feel like they can hang in there and try to survive just a little bit longer, that's just all they need. Hope is hope, and they will do whatever it takes to get it there. Here we go now. Lining them back up into their positions. Drivers are lined in their areas and in control. Let's try it again. Back on the turn number 4. Everybody in their proper spots. Green back out. Let's rip it around. North Wilkesboro once more. We're past halfway, so now this is pretty much race it out from here and see what happens. Hard charge it. Oh no, not again. Up front. Trouble. Wayne Ruprecht. Ruprecht getting it too loose off of turn number 4, and once again the troubles ensue. It just looked like he overdrove the corner again, and yet again he can't seem to keep the car right on line. You see he was doing a great battle there between him and number 14, but he got it all. Look, he got him on the curb there. Once you're on that curb, that's pretty much no man's land. You're trapped at that point. You try to stay in the throttle, try to get the car to take a set, but there's just nothing you can do in that scenario that's going to be allowing that car to actually get out of that mess and actually be able to drive off from there, unless you literally knew how to drift and actually slow that thing down. But you can see right here, he was already loose. He was already trapped, so he's already lost. At this point, you really just got to kind of brake in, gas, brake, and then gas a little bit, just to keep the car from spinning out like that. But again, in terms of positioning and where you're at mentally, you don't think about that stuff. You just want to try to get the car to save and try to stay in your position. That's what most would think, and that's what I would think too, honestly. The downside, though, is unfortunately, it does cost you track position and cost you more positions on the track here. So it looks like we're going to reel them back around here, and we're going to try to get them squared up once again. Race fans, they have been a little bit all over the place in terms of whether they keep the cars straight or they're having some troubles keeping these cars online. Either way, we can get them refired up and get them back in working order and back in proper position. That will certainly take us a little bit. Hot charge, hot spot, hot momentum. Green is back out. And Norgard right now probably looking at the writing on the wall. Knows they got to put up a fight here to the Rattlesnake. Abbott and White going out a little bit too as they drive their way down across the plains. Taking them down around the corners here. Robert Kahn still holding down the field. Oaks, Lancaster, and Brooks right now having some troubles. Pressure looming. Momentum shifting up. Everybody right now in a hot pursuit, in a hot debacle. Trying to see who can outlast the other. Caution back out though. There's trouble down there for the number 16, Joe Tardif. Going to come to a dead stop once again here. Tardif unfortunately slowing down the field again. It looks like this is due to another little racing ordeal here. Wayman throwing in hard, slipped up a little bit and takes the 16 with him. So that will bring us back to the caution. For what laps they have been able to get around the track, man, they've been doing great. Problem is, they've also been kind of stuck in between with some other issues. Still have a few laps left here, though, in this race. Plenty of time for mistakes to be had and opportunities to be given. These drivers right now, they know they cannot keep letting that opportunity slip by them. Not with how chaotic and the crazy this field is. Flying him back down yet again. Here we go once more. Where do you take it from here? Norgard, top side. Gone. Knows he's had the lead for a while, but now this is the first time he's got to go on defense. He's not going to have time, though. Norgard to the lead. Could the hat trick be performed here? Norgard certainly seems to think so. I think he was timing this one out. He waited very, very patiently, but now caution to bruise again. Mike right out the recipient to this one. Another caution thrown their way and thrown out on the track. And this looks like Joe Tardive got the 76 off guard, and then that's when he went for the ride, and Mike right out. Man, talk about finding himself between a rock and a hard place. Got trapped up completely and just nowhere to go. Well, we were wondering how long on before these starts were going to start really affecting these drivers. It affected them too much. Norgard was able to take control. Leaving absolutely nothing on the table and nothing out on the line. Well, we now know our Norgard with the lead has got something in store, but will he be able to hold out the field if they come right back for him? That will be his ultimate question. You just gotta start really reeling this one in, start figuring everything out, put the pieces together. You got 30 laps left. You're on a track that's a half-mile in length. That's not a whole lot of time to be making any big moves or risky moves. You best figure out now what you got in store and what you're planning on doing, because you are running out of time here, folks. Green back out. It's time to see what happens from here. Corey Abbott trapped in a 3-wide tangent. Stuck in the middle. Norgard and late and Khan going back and forth now for the race lead. Norgard slight advantage. Coming down though off the track. Khan sneaking his way on the outside. He gives Norgard a little bump there on the inside corner. He's putting them dead locked in. They are dead even right now for position. Everybody else right behind doing the same. Norgard though able to get a good run off. Might have some openings here. We're taking it to our blimp cam. Trying to catch both the action as it goes down. Norgard still with the lead. Khan staying in it. No room for Eric. On just made a big error there. It let too much run to Norgard. His right front tire might have taken some damage from it. Knows he can't quite get that up. Oh no! Trouble on the back stretch. Jeff Oakes and Chad Lancaster involved. Caution is out. Chad Lancaster and Jeff Oakes wrecking it out of turn number 2. On down to the back straightaway. We'll have to take a look at the P2 instant replay. I honestly am just having a hard time really deciphering when these drivers are going to get too aggressive or get over the hills themselves. And Lancaster right here looked like he just overshot the corner, had nowhere to go, and then once he realized he was kind of in danger, he was trapped in the rock and the hard place scenario again. You just can't make mistakes like that. He knows it too. He overdrove it, trying to fight off Corey Abbott. But you can just see right here, as soon as he got too high up into the wall, Oakes had no room to go. The good news for him is he really didn't take much damage, if any, when he took the tool with him. He already had damage on the car as it was. Really by no means of any other fault than just unfortunately a short track and a racing ordeal. But nevertheless, that will bring our drivers back into the reality section. Pressure's on now. Norgard knows these restarts are going to get more and more difficult by the minute, and it looks like he's going to learn from his mistake there, giving Khan the opening on the inside and the outside, so he's going to trap him on the inside this time. Norgard's got to get the speed kicked up sooner rather than later, and he knows now, company behind him, he knows it could go either way here. We begin it again with the green flag restart zone. Three wide off, 14. Oh my, that was almost trouble there for Austin Lauder. Lauder able to stay out of it. Gonna burrow their way down through the entries, down to the turns here. Corey Abbott, William White going out a little bit here. White looking for an opening to try to sneak his way through. Lancaster have problems down there again. Looks like more problems for the two as he'll slow it down to a crawl. Matthew Moniak as well. Ends up in pit road. No caution. They stay green. And Norgard's got to be liking all that. Knows he now has a chance to start wrapping this up. Put the bow on top. Except it won't happen yet. Austin Ladder with problems down on the track here. And he's saying for Matthew Moniak and William Mance, troubles will brew again. And the field will come to another deadlock. We didn't have our cameras rolling at that time, so we're unfortunately not going to be able to get to the instant replay. What I can tell you though is that Louder did go up a little bit on the bottom and kind of headed up there around in the other side of the turn. Got our ring them right around yet again. We're going to see what happens from here. We've only got 13 laps remaining. These drivers have been through war and back just to get to this point, get to this level here. Now they got to figure out a way to close the deal out. Can Norgard pull off the hat trick, or will somebody come and try to take him on? Green's back out. To be fair, for 20 drivers on the track and considering what they're racing up against, I am honestly surprised it has been as clean as it's been. It could have been a heck of a lot worse. Could have been a caution every single lap. We haven't had that. These guys have been racing each other respectfully. It's just some unfortunate racing ordeals and just sadly just not aware of their surroundings and what's going on the track at times. That has cost them here. Leading it back down here. Cons trying. Not enough time again though. Tardif got his caution out. And this one we actually do have a PTM instant replay to show you guys here. Let's take a look at this one. Tardif got loose off of turn number 2, and in total he just sends it on around. And again, it just boggles my mind how loose these cars are, and yet seemingly how pretty much kind of sane everybody has been when it came to just not using their bumpers on one another. They've been very, very respectful and restrained, to say the least. Only a few have even accidentally, if at all, gave a little hit or two there. So what happens next? What happens next? Drivers, that's your call. Your decision now. Let's see what happens. Green's back out. Six laps left. Something's got to give. They're almost 3 deep off of turn number 2, though. That is an extremely scary sight. They are 3 deep in 3 and 4. Stephen Lauder shifted up to Chad Lancaster as the 14 Austin Lauder gets ahead of him. Moving their way back around the track, though. Every driver trying to evade trouble, trying to avoid situations and circumstances. Ailton Norgard right now trying to keep Robert Kahn at bay, but the Rattlesnake does not let off that easily. He's trying to strike, but it's not time. Another wreck and showing off at turn number 3 and 4. Caution brings us to a green-white checker attempt now. And once more, the chaos ensues and just continues to completely derail these drivers. And right here you can see what happened there. Matthew Amani got trapped in there. Jeff Oakes didn't really have any choice. Really, there was nowhere to go. I mean, you could try and debate it all you want. There's no room for error there. Yeah, you can see as soon as he got up into the grass there, he just completely got the 22. Oakes had nothing he could do about it. Well, if you've never been a part of a green-white checker, I'll make it pretty simple for you here. You get a green then you get a white flag, and then you get a checkered flag popping up right in the mix of it. And the way it plays out too is you got to go for everything and any chance you can get. You try to evade hitting and taking out drivers here, but the problem is you really got to watch out for openings and watch out for any other areas that can catch you off guard. Ailton Norgard, Robert Kahn, Corey Abbott are well aware of that. Norgard could be the first driver in a long time to go triples to pull off the hat trick here on Pete's Race TV. The last time we saw it, I believe, was literally back with Pushing Lewis Racing League, and it was with the Throttle Chantel Bottle and her absolute moments of dominance throughout a season. Other known factors and names that were on that list include the likes of last night's featured season champion Aaron Smith, the gold standard himself. We've even seen the likes of Craig, the Zany Fam Janzik. He has put on some hellacious performances with triples and made some incredible performances there. But I think none can compare to this one. If Ailton Norgard can pull this off, 3 wins in a row in a season and in a league so brand new, he is going to set the bar high for all to try to come for him. Top 5 on your screen. Final 2 laps remain. And Ailton just wasted no time. He knows what's coming, and he's trying to avoid it. Not letting everyone else get too close up ahead. Austin Ladder trying to avoid trouble as we get to the white flag this time on by. Down to the final legs of the turn. Norgard is left all alone. They're wrecking behind. Big wreck goes through. Corey Abbott is wrecked on the back half as they come into the final turns. It's Ailton Norgard going to do it again. The hat trick is engaged. Norgard is your winner. Oh, what a huge wreck ensuing as they continue to wreck it out through 3 and 4. Everybody getting collateral and major damage around the track, my word. Nevertheless, though, he waited a while, waited for a shot. He takes down the rattlesnake. Not many have been able to say that and take claim for it. But Ailton Norgard does it and takes home 3 in a row. He's going to pull the hat trick off here at Pizza Race TV. It keeps the car in one piece and keeps it clean as can be. And I think he's going to patrol it into pit road in style now for that. What a performance by Ailton Norgard. Let's take a look at our race results now. Pop on the screen, presented by Six Sigma Sim Racing. Ailton Norgard's going to take this one home. Robert Kahn will go second. William White will go third. Patrick Kelly getting 4th out of the bunch. Joe Gregory goes in the top 5. 6th to Gary Brooks. Wayne Ruprack going to go 7th. 8th going to go to Chantel the Throttle Bottle. 9th will go to Matthew Moniak. And Mike Rideout will take the top 10 home for him and his team. The rest of your 20 drivers here today that came out here, Andrew Hardcastle sadly in the depths below, as well as Corey Abbott and Arthur Clements, not able to stay on the lead lap or stay out of trouble enough to perform out here. It's time to listen in to your top 3 drivers, ladies and gentlemen, presenting here now. Coming out a 3rd in this bunch today, it is our Englishman friend here, the number 43, William White, going to take it home in 3rd. William, congratulations on a 3rd place finish here today, and you had to really hang on and take everything you could just to drive from there, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. It's very difficult out there, switching places with Corey for goodness knows how many laps. I think on those restarts, the outside line kind of had the momentum, so it was pretty much whoever was 3rd kind of lost out, even though we would gain a position. So thankfully, we were fourth on that last restart, so we could get the jump on him. And I think we deserved that third place.
Yeah, definitely deserved it indeed. You really had to hang on to it and really control the positioning and the team here. I'll have to ask you this too, William. I mean, this was from start to finish a wild little race and a hard little race to kind of push through and deal with. How much pressure did you feel kind of getting into the later half of this race?
Oh, my heart was absolutely racing the whole time because I knew every restart it was going to be super intense. People were going to be sending it because the way the race was going, it seemed like there was caution every 7 or 8 laps. So we were kind of sending it for everything that we could get. And me and Corey sending it into each other every corner, and kind of came to blows on the last lap there, but it was very tough nonetheless.
It is indeed, but nevertheless, White, as you take the blows and take a few knuckles with it, at least you're able to take it home for third. So who do you want to thank for this podium?
Got to thank 213 Simware for letting me represent them on the car, and for Carey and Wayne for keeping me entertained in the Discord call while we raced. And yeah, being good teammates, of course.
For sure there, William. Congratulations, man, on a third place today, sir.
Thank you very much, mate.
William White, ladies and gentlemen, going to take this one home for a third place finish today. Coming away, though, in the second spot. Of course, the old rattlesnake strikes again here on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Kahn coming back into another podium. And Kahn, congratulations on a second place drive today. I mean, you had to kind of watch your spots and watch your calls, and you certainly made a good deal that when you were getting late in this run here.
Yeah, not a bad race. Second place, you can't complain too much about it. Line sort of went a little disappointed from having decent leads at the beginning, but top three, it's good points day, so can't really say too much about that.
Certainly not indeed, but I know you were kind of a little later on in that run when you finally had lost the position and lost the lead there from Norgard. I mean, how hard was it to really kind of deal with that pressure and deal with the momentum you were kind of in there for this last bit?
Well, the restarts, this sounds really weird saying it, but clean air here is like really important, and we were pretty neck and neck on a restart there where we were side by side, and if he got the lead and with the leader having control of the restarts, it's really important here. So it's kind of hard to beat that. But I mean, he was fast. He definitely deserved to win. So it's a good race.
Certainly there indeed. Con, anybody else want to thank for this one today?
You, buddy. I appreciate PTM TV, Lightning Raps. Appreciate everybody.
For sure there. All right, well, Con, as you come away second today, sir, congratulations on all this, and we certainly hope to see you right back out here on the show.
Thank you, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn, gonna take it home in second today. The man, though, that will bring it back to victory lane for the third time in a row, race fans. The hat trick has been pulled off. Ailton Norgard does it again. Ailton, man, I have no idea what rabbit's foot or what lucky charms you've got inside that car to avoid all the chaos and the carnage back behind you. But, man, you sure used them well and then used the skill to get around Con. What was it like out there today, sir?
Yeah, it was just super hard to pass all night, and the restarts were really the only time that you could make it happen. So I got lucky with a couple good restarts on the outside when I was in second. The first one I saw that I could get alongside him and coming out of two, and then the second one I was able to pull it off. But it's really tough restarting in third.
Yeah.
Especially behind Robert some of the time. He wasn't having the greatest starts, but yeah, I feel bad for Corey.
Yeah, he got trapped there on the last bit of the laps, unfortunately, and it looked like from there, there really wasn't much else he could do or really kind of escape from. But and for you and this team, I know there really was a heck of a lot these guys were trying to do and trying to get around you as well. But I mean, for you to pull off 3 in a row, I mean, do you feel like this kind of puts a bigger target on your back and all that too?
I don't think so. I think it comes down to just people wanting to race, and it just means that I'm going to have more competition with people practicing more, wanting to kind of get that win from me next time. Not to say that I didn't think I was going to win this week. I just did not have the same pace that some of these guys did, but things worked out for me.
It certainly did indeed. Nevertheless, though, you're going to take it home today in first place and pull the hat trick off for the third time. So you want to thank you for this one.
As usual, my teammates on Abbott Motorsports, Corey and Andrew, and also Ben and Carrie and the whole Six Sigma team for running the league, and you for doing the cast.
For sure there. All right, Ailton, congratulations on this race win today here, sir.
Thanks.
Ailton Norgard will pull it off here in victory lane and defy it all to win it out. Race fans, that concludes your coverage today. We appreciate you guys tuning on in here for Six Sigma Sim Racing. Again, be sure to visit them up at sixsigmasimracing.com and also their webpage, Facebook page, Instagram, and all that. Absolutely wonderful people to get around and group to get to. These Oval League guys certainly came to put on a show. It probably did in more ways than one, but nevertheless, race fans, we'll sign out for the now. We appreciate you coming out. We'll see you next time when the green flag flies.